Colin Cowherd made my day. He had a new opinion about Jimmy Garoppolo. Colin Cowherd thinks that Jimmy Garoppolo is the most underrated player in the NFL. Most underrated player in the NFL, which is bold. So I figured if you didn't watch the 4 minutes, which, I mean, I can understand why you wouldn't want to. I outlined his 6 main points. We can go through them.
Yeah, let's do it.
First thing Colin Cowherd said to justify his argument that Jimmy Garoppolo is the most underrated player in the NFL is that his contract is way under market. Way under market. 1 year, $27 million, most of it non-guaranteed. Well, it is the 7th highest cap hit in the NFL among quarterbacks right now. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. For a quarterback who's, no one would say is better than 15th, maybe 20th. So I would dispute the first claim.
Well, the only positive thing with the Garoppolo deal is if you're willing to extend him, it's easy to get it. It's easier to do that with him than it would have been with Baker Mayfield, for example, because of the guaranteed money that was there. So
that's true.
When it comes to Garoppolo, it's I think maybe a little bit easier to work around it. But definitely, I think that for when it comes to Garoppolo, if you're going to eat $25.5 million, which you're going to have to do if you're signing and trading for him, the Browns are the only team that can do that. Everybody else is going to have to be some kind of a trade and sign kind of deal. And I think the 49ers didn't letting that happen in terms of letting him talk to teams, but definitely changes his market around a little bit.
What I love about this is that Cowherd is trying to act like he put these thoughts together himself. Like someone clearly fed him these points. And he doesn't really quite understand any of them and doesn't really get them 100% correct. But someone's making a case. Okay, so the contract's way under market. I mean, it's a flexible contract. There's things you can do with it. But as is, it's expensive. He says 7 to 8 teams minimum that will need a quarterback next year. Yeah, I mean, that's every year. That was this year. And none of them wanted Jimmy. So I don't know I don't know really that matters at all. But maybe it will.
Yeah, and then he rattled some off, like the Saints, for example. Well, the Saints, they signed a quarterback this offseason. They brought a quarterback back. He's going to be on their roster again next year because it was a 2-year deal. He's going to they have $15 million dead cap hit next year if they got rid of Jameis Winston. So, there's always
the Commanders with Carson Wentz. They said they're going to get rid of Carson Wentz after 1 year because he makes bad decisions. Carson Wentz has a career interception percentage below 2. Jimmy makes bad decisions. And the Commanders already had that choice this offseason, and they went with Wentz. It's like anyway.
It's an interesting one. I don't know of the 7 to 8 teams. I know there'll be teams that are going to be out there that'll be interested in Garoppolo, or there should be. But I don't know. If I was Washington, I'd rather have Jimmy Garoppolo than Carson Wentz myself. But
you're not. And they had the choice, and they went with Wentz. So anyway.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's keep going on. So number 3 from Cowherd, Jimmy Garoppolo outplayed Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau. And then to prove the point, he said that he was 5 for 6. That was 3 years ago. And there were more than 6. Anyway, he was very confused. But yeah. And plus that was at Levi's. So he was confused. Outplayed Rodgers in Lambeau. Did Jimmy outplay Rodgers in Lambeau 6 months ago?
No, I don't think he outplayed him. I don't think either one of them really played all that well. I think the 49ers got lucky because of the special teams thing. And, who knows what would have happened if George Kittle didn't drop the ball over the middle in the beginning. But no, I don't think he outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
I wouldn't say that. He said it so matter-of-factly. I wouldn't say that. I mean, Rodgers didn't play great, but Jimmy really didn't play great in that game. I threw a pick in the end zone. The Niners didn't score any touchdowns offensively. It wasn't like one of his best games. Anyway, moving on.
The only game that where Garoppolo played against Aaron Rodgers and he had a decent game, I think, was the 2019 regular season game.
Right.
Because in the playoffs, he was only 6 of 8 in that game. He didn't really have to do a whole lot. So, yeah.
He said he was 5 of 6. All right. He says that he's actually durable. He only missed 2 games last year and missed no games in 2019.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh.
That was good. He's like, he plays for 95% of the time when he's healthy. It was like he's healthy 90% of the time. 60% of the time he's healthy 90% of the time. That's basically what he said.
Yeah, that was the one where he lost me for sure, because it's like, yeah, he's healthy.
Except for when he's not.
When he's healthy, he plays almost every game. He plays 95% of the time when he's healthy. Yeah,
Yeah, when he's not missing the entire season, he only misses a few games here and there. So that was good. I like that one a lot. He also said that the offense is geared towards running, and that explains why he doesn't throw for more yards and stuff, but he has very efficient stats. Mm-hmm. That is true, but it's geared towards running because he's the quarterback, and his stats aren't good in the playoffs. You don't want to talk about that?
No, his stats aren't good in the playoffs. I think there's some truth to it, and the 49ers are a run team. I mean, but yeah, there's some efficiency there, but at the same time, there's some things that are lacking. Jimmy Garoppolo, what I say is
Nick Mullins ranked very high in yards per attempt. I'm just saying, keep going.
Sure. No, I mean the whole underrated. I don't know if I would say he's underrated. I think he's over. There's the negativity might be the criticism negativity might be a little over the top, but I don't think he's necessarily underrated. I think people who, I think most people would say he's a starting level quarterback in the NFL. And I don't know how much.
I think there's just Jimmy fatigue in the Bay Area. It's like, enough. It's been 5 years. I've seen him throw the interception to the linebacker. You're like, let some other team root for this guy, please. Maybe I think some other team, if he goes to another market, they could appreciate him. But I think it's some people have just had enough. And maybe a national reporter like Colin Cowherd doesn't understand that because he clearly doesn't watch the Niners play. But us, and at least me, I think part of the allure with Trey Lance is just going to be the opposite. And I'm in for the opposite, please.
Yeah, it's going to be different. You're going to have the explosive plays are mostly going to come from the quarterback position. I think that's the expectation of the team as they move forward.
And if Trey Lance isn't the guy, then the search continues. Joe, last point is that, Joe Burrow made some mistakes in the playoffs too, but he's just a winner. Joe Burrow's quarterback rating in the playoffs was 97. He threw 5 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. I don't know what the hell Cowherd's talking about. He made some points, but underrated. Okay, I see what you mean. To me, I want to. Wentz is underrated to me. That guy legitimately has a good TD to INT ratio in his career. He actually he has the reputation of being a bad decision maker.
Yeah, I think the difference with Wentz and Garoppolo is that Garoppolo throws more interceptions and things like that, but Wentz just seems to throw them in really critical times that just kind of kill you. He did at least. He has. Well, you go back to Tennessee and things like that.
No, I know. I think the thing with Wentz is that he missed the playoffs this year and he lost to Jacksonville.
He was right there, and
that was right.
They should have lost. He should have lost to the 49ers too. There was a couple. He tried to throw. He had 4 passes in the first half that he tried to throw interceptions on. He finally threw 1. I think they rolled it as a fumble instead. But it's an interesting one. I think he's the stuff with some of the stuff that Cowherd was saying. I just feel is way off the mark.
To me, it just felt like, and I don't know, but it just felt like he got like an email or a text from Don Yee. Don Yee being like, "Here's why I think Jimmy Garoppolo is the most underrated player in the league. 6 points." And Colin's like, "Okay." It was 5 of 6. Like, okay, all right, man. We'll just bring Don Yee on the show next time and let him lay out the case for his client. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don Yee. Justin Lomker says, does Bosa contract talk say something about Debo not going to play for the Niners? Can't pay both, and defense is where the Niners pay people. Can they not pay both? I mean,
they're gonna pay both. They can't do it right this minute, but they're gonna pay both. Both these guys are gonna get done. I've always felt that the Bosa deal was going to get done next year, and Samuel would get done this year just because of what Bosa's family history has been. So I think he's going to get done next year.
Niner Nation says, GC and Hammer, let's go. Love the content. GC, are you ready to cover the most exciting year ever? Getting there. Trey is about to light the NFL on fire. Play 5, pay 19. Yep. That was inspirational. I'm juiced. Niner fans are ready.